The Season 1 finale of Spartacus, House of Usher, opens in the heavy shadow of death. Gabinius is buried, and while Viridia is shattered, the real snakes are mourning in plain sight. Caesar and his wife play the part of the grieving allies, successfully putting the blame on Pompey and promising to help bring him to justice. Proculus is also quick to reiterate his threat to Casutia. With the head of the house gone, the power vacuum is filled by Gabinius's brother, a man who inherits his sibling's title but possesses none of his pragmatism. He is a typical Roman elitist who immediately views Usher as dirt beneath his boots, ordering the slave to be removed from the premises. Despite the hostility, Viridia manages a brief, tearful moment with Usher, where they share a kiss. She is grateful he came to console her, but Usher is drowning in guilt because he knows he is the secret architect of her misery. Now that Caesar's title has been raised for stopping the marriage, Usher looks for a payout for the task that was deeply hurtful to his soul. He asks for what Caesar promised, the renovated arena that Usher would be in charge of, and Caesar assures him that he will still receive it. With that settled, Usher focuses on tying up loose ends by bribing Aquileia with Spartacus's old room to keep her quiet about the drugging of Pompey. Messia, however, begins to freak out since she was the one who stole the opium. In the end, she chooses self-preservation and leaves with Caesar's wife back to Rome, cutting all ties with the House of Usher. If the truth ever comes out, she wants no part in the punishment. Usher is deeply sad at the turn of events, but he continues his plans to give the current house to Dr. Ray once he moves to the arena. The transition of power is brutal for the women. Gabinius's brother is a monster, barging in on Viridia and her mother in the bath and declaring they are now on a short leash. They can no longer move freely or even go to the market like they used to. They are essentially prisoners to his whims. Even more disturbing is the predatory way he eyes his own niece. Tarchon has become quite level-headed since his father died. Even though Aquileia is struggling in her fights, he decides to help anyway. Yes, he wants to be champion, but more than that, he wants to honor his father. And for that to happen, Aquileia must kill the woman who murdered Calidus, the Scythian. Tarchon offers to be her doctor, but because he speaks to her condescendingly, she refuses to listen. Dr. Ray later explains that Tarchon is just like Aquileia, except his father guided him with love instead of cruelty. Realizing this, Tarchon adjusts his style and teaches Aquileia a vital tactical shift. Her shield is not just for blocking, but for striking. The new games are meant to honor Gabinius, and Usher has been told to prepare his men. But on the day of the games, Gabinius's brother humiliates Usher by revealing that none of Usher's gladiators will fight except Aquileia, as he has decided to go with the House of Proculus. To twist the knife, he declares that Usher, being a slave, can no longer sit among the Lanistas. Usher is forced to sit in the crowd, clinging to the hope that Aquileia's victory will restore some pride. Proculus's champion, the leader of the Pharos brothers, is still alive and paired with a woman to improve his odds. Despite everything, they win their match. Then comes Aquileia versus the Scythian. The fight begins badly, with the Scythian dominating and even throwing Aquileia into the crowd. But Aquileia remembers Tarchon's training. When the Scythian hooks her spear, Aquileia pivots and uses her shield as a crushing offensive tool, knocking the Scythian off balance. She finishes her off slowly, which makes Usher very happy in the crowd. Throughout the fight, Viridia watches Usher, noticing his joy as he celebrates with Hilara. When their eyes meet, it's clear they're further apart than either would like to be. The aftermath brings the most bizarre twist. Tarchon checks on Aquileia and helps tend her wound. He still plans to come for her championship, but now it's framed as friendly competition instead of outright hostility. And then, suddenly, they start making out. To me, this is incredibly weird, since she was his father's girlfriend, but I guess according to Spartacus standards, it is acceptable. Now that everything is settled, Usher confronts Caesar to ask for the arena he was promised, but Caesar replies that finances cannot afford the renovation right now, and they are just grateful for what he did. Did I not say Caesar was lying? How could Usher believe a Roman without a single word in writing? That's how Usher gets angry and speaks rudely, leading Caesar to slap him. But Usher has had enough. He hits Caesar back, and a fight begins. Even Caesar's guards enter at a point, but Usher kills both of them. At the end of the fight, he kills Caesar, which is going to be crazy, because how is he going to explain this? Usher is now consumed by a toxic mix of rage and regret. By killing Gabinius, he destroyed the only patron who actually treated him with a shred of respect and allowed his men into the games. All the hard work, the scheming, and the constant disrespect he endured to grow his house was all for nothing, because he is effectively back to square one. Worse, he got nothing in return, and the woman he loves is being tormented by a predatory uncle. At this point, the only path forward is to have the uncle killed before he destroys what little they have left, but that can only happen after Usher finds a way to explain the dead Roman general in his living room.